And beginning with an example, I'm going to use this mobile telephone as an example. This mobile telephone we refer to as enzyme. Why is it enzyme? Because it has an active site. The active site is this particular hole, which you can see here, for the substrate to plug here. So the substrate of this particular enzyme, which is referred as the telephone, the substrate is going to be the charging, that is the charging cable. So that cable, which is going to plug into this hole for this phone to charge, is going to be the substrate. So the cable itself is a substrate, and this telephone is the enzyme. Why is this an enzyme? Because, of course, enzyme contain the active site. Let's assume that the active site of this telephone is these plugs, which you can see here. Assuming I'm going to come now with a cable to fit it into this telephone, and it is going to start charging. Now, this is the head of the cable, which of course I'm going to feed it into this particular active site. Let's assume this is the active site of the enzyme itself, and this is the substrate. So this substrate will come to bind to this active site, and once it fits in, now of course it is going to start charging. You can see it is charging. The telephone is now charging. You can see that is the charge. Now it is the same like when the enzyme or when the substrate come to bind to the active site of the enzyme, a reaction is going to take place. Assuming that this telephone is the enzyme having the active site, which is this particular area for the substrate to fit. Once it fits, what will happen is charging will begin. This is an example, the same example, just as an enzyme which is specific for a particular substrate will bind to that active site for reaction to take place.